Hello, my name is Mark Caldwell. I'm here to discuss the sobriety court process with you. Individuals will call me that have 2 drunk drivings within 7 years or 3 in a lifetime. What this video will explain is the requirements to get into sobriety court, the process of sobriety court and what it all entails, and which counties have it, and will they allow for transfers of sobriety court. The benefits of sobriety court, other than maintaining your sobriety, would be that you would get a sobriety court license as well as get no jail or reduced jail. As to the sobriety court license, it is with an ignition interlock. Usually you have to do at least 45 days in sobriety court before they will issue you your license, which means you're going to have to get a ride to sobriety court for those 45 days. Some sobriety courts, however, require up to 6 months without a license before they will issue it, such as Mount Pleasant. As to the no jail and reduced jail, typically if you're in a district court and you get sobriety court, you're not going to do any jail. However, at the 63rd District Court, if you do get into sobriety court, you will be doing 15 days in jail. With circuit courts, some judges don't require jail if you get into sobriety court. Other judges typically require 30 days. People call me and ask me, what is the process of sobriety court? The first thing is to submit an application. By submitting an application early, it reserves your spot in that sobriety court in case they happen to fill up. Once that application is submitted, however, they will not look to see if you're eligible for sobriety court or a good candidate until they have received a drug and alcohol evaluation, as well as reviewed the police report, and they will also meet with you to make sure that you are a good fit. Most courts require that you have an extreme addiction to alcohol or drugs or both to get into sobriety court. Some sobriety courts are much more lenient and some sobriety courts are very difficult to get in, but it really varies from court to court. The requirements for sobriety court are that you be a U.S. citizen, that you be mentally and physically capable of participating in the sobriety court. You need to live in the county where you're doing the sobriety court. And the last requirement is that you not appear on the sex offense registry or have committed any violent criminal offenses. People ask me, can they get their sobriety court transferred? So if I'm a Grand Rapids resident and I go down to the Gun Lake Casino and I get a drunk driving down there, and it happens to be my second drunk driving in 7 years, but I don't live down in Allegan County, I live in Kent County, can you get your sobriety court transferred to Kent County? The answer is yes. There's 3 sobriety courts in Kent County, which would be out of Kentwood, which is 62B District Court, and the 61st District Court, and then the 63rd District Court. The 63rd District Court will not allow transfers, but the other 2 courts will allow transfers. Now, it's not always the case that counties will allow transfers. I know in one particular, Montcalm does not allow transfers from other counties. They only take cases that arose in that county. When you get into sobriety court, you'll wonder, what is this sobriety court about, what it entails, what do you have to do? Now, typically your sobriety court's going to be between 12 and 24 months. In some courts, if you're doing well in sobriety court, you'll get released early, which would be at the 18-month mark. When you're in sobriety court, some sobriety courts require that you first be put on a tether and that you have the tether on for 90 days as the sobriety court process begins. Also, you'll have to complete community service. You'll have to attend AA. Some courts require that you attend 5 to 7 times a week. You'll have to do regular testing. And there also is phases of sobriety court. So when you start out, there's going to be more testing involved with phase 1. As you progress through the sobriety court, through the different phases, you'll have to test less and less. And you just have to meet bi-weekly with the sobriety court team. Usually they have those in the afternoons, like Friday or Monday afternoon, where you meet with all the participants and the judge that runs the sobriety court. So you do have to have an employer that's willing to work with you while you're in sobriety court, especially when you need to go test in the morning. You need employers that are flexible that allow you to go test. You can reach me at my cell phone, which is 915-6576. You can also text me at that number, or you can email me. If I don't answer the phone, it means that I am busy either with a client or I am working at one of the courthouses. And I will get back to you as soon as possible.